How is it going, my heroes, my villains, and everybody in between? Sean Ross here, and welcome back, guys, to another live reaction to My Hero Academia. We are on manga chapter number 318, entitled Reckless.
This is reckless, All Might. It's time for you to step down.
But everyone's looking to me for my help. If there are frightened citizens, then I have to go to them.
Keep doing hero work in that body and the entire world is going to suffer. Just find a cheerful and strong replacement and entrust your role in society to them. It's time.
Now, it's your turn.
All Might chose me! He told me I could be a hero! You have to fight to become a hero who wins and saves his friends!
And this title right here, I think, is the best word that can be used to describe Deku in this situation. He is exhausting himself in his search for All For One, and it's starting to affect him physically, as we saw at the end of last chapter with him giving off this demonic, villainous look in his tattered hero costume and black whip coming off of his body.
I'm a villain now, heroes. Remember that. You'd better come at me with everything you've got. I won't pull my punches.
And this look is not helping the rumors spreading about him as he's going around saving people, with them comparing him to All For One. But despite that, Deku is continuing forward, but it looks like now he is doing it alone and without All Might. We saw Deku push All Might away to no longer have him by his side supporting him because he wants to protect him and keep him safe, and he just looked back at All Might with that sad look on his face and told him, I will be fine continuing forward on my own. So going into this chapter, I'm curious to see where we're going to go next with Deku and how much more reckless Deku is going to be in his pursuit for All For One. So, mount ladies and gentle criminals, without further ado, let's dive right into chapter 318. And on the first page, it looks like we are starting things off with Endeavor, who is currently talking with Deku on the phone right here. We're switching up our approach, Deku. At this rate, you're not going to last much longer. The official dispatch dates for the foreign heroes will be decided soon. That means there will be a lot more personnel available to expand our operation. So it looks like the paperwork has finally gone through and some foreign heroes will be arriving any day now. I'm looking forward to seeing what new heroes we will be introduced to. You're the key to all this, so we can't have you running yourself into the ground.
Behold.
Yo, and look at Deku's silhouette right here. That eye shining through the darkness is really reminding me of Venom and Carnage.
What the hell are you? We are Venom.
Deku going full-on symbiote with his silhouette right here. I'm still on my feet, I'm fine, and I can't give the villains time to prepare. And just like that, Deku just ignores Endeavor's concerns for him, ends the call, and continues to push himself forward. And as Deku is walking, we can see the vestiges beginning to form behind Deku. We can see Yoichi, Shinomori, En, and Nana Shimura. Listen, Ninth, your wounds are far from healed, and it's not yet time to throw caution to the wind.
What's up, Danger?
And as they say that, danger sense goes off for Deku, and he immediately turns in the direction of the danger and jumps into action. And we just see the vestige of Shinomori look on as Deku leaps into the distance.
Crap, kid! You got it wrong! Dang it! Didn't we tell you? You're not alone out there! You got that?
Yo, and it looks like we are transitioning into the Vestige world right here. We are entering the vault, and it looks like the Vestige Council is now in session, where we can see all of the past users sitting in their chairs right here, except for the second user who is standing and leaning up against his. But kicking off this meeting, we got Nana Shimura. My own feelings place a heavy burden on him. And then Banjo says, nah. The kiddo sees every cause as a worthy one. And then Shinomori says, for better or worse, the manifestation of our quirks has enabled him to act on his primary motivation. And then we see the ghostly form of All Might. He now seeks to save everyone as a true superhero. He's choosing the right path. And of course, the second user would be the only one agreeing with Deku's actions that he is currently taking. Because I bet you the second did the exact same thing going up against All For One in his past. Which would make sense why he's currently the only one standing and not sitting in his chair.
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
And we see the third staring at the second and saying, "You think so, leader?" Inaction is not an option, especially given the circumstances. That's how it is for those of us who bear One For All. And we see the second closing his eyes, pausing for a second, then reopens them and replies back to the third and first, saying, "That said, if there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midoriya now, it would be..."
That can't be it. Where's the rest of it?
Gotcha, bitch!
That's how it is.
And of course, we cut away right before the second was going to say what he needed to say. We're gonna have to wait until that gets revealed. But now we are back in the real world, in the destroyed city.
The fight ends here!
Yo, and our boy Deku arrived just in the nick of time to save these scared citizens from being attacked by this villain gang right here.
Look!
Yo, wait a minute. Are two of these villains dressed like Spinner?
So you're the ones he ended up inspiring at your service. That's us.
Yo, I think they are. So it looks like Spinner has inspired some of the villains that are currently rioting through the cities.
I will purge you.
Hopefully these two don't come across Stain, because I have a feeling he would kill them on the spot for stealing his look.
Let me introduce myself. Call me Spinner. I'm here to make Stain's dreams a reality.
And there's a million of us just like me, bust like me, who just don't give a fuck like me, dress like me, walk, talk, and act like me. It just might be the next best thing, but not quite me. I'm Slim Shady, yes, I'm the real Shady. All you other Slim Shadys are just imitating. So won't the real Slim Shady please stand up? Please stand up. Please stand up.
And it looks like Deku was able to defuse this situation. We got the villain gang retreating back up the stairs, and Deku says, "Are you hurt?" And these citizens look terrified of Deku right here. We have one of them eking in fear as Deku turns around to see one of them sweating nervously.
Oh no.
Multiple quarks? Are you working for All For One? What? No.
Run.
And with that reassurance, these guys are out of here. They grab their fallen friend and they are dashing to safety. Great! Glad to hear it. We're fine, really. We're just dandy.
What's up, Danger?
And Deku doesn't even get a moment to rest as Danger Sense is going off yet again. And just like that, Deku is leaping back into action to go save more citizens and to stop more villains. Everyone's got it rough. What does All For One want? Where is he? I have to put a stop to Shigaraki and the League. And as Deku is flying through the air, not only is he thinking about All For One and Shigaraki, but he's also thinking about Toya, Toga, and Spinner. Now, it's your turn.
The words I was told that day.
Now, it's your turn.
I won't let you deny what All Might and I have gone through. The other heroes and I have come so far to stop you. So that's what I'm gonna do!
Now, it's your turn.
And it looks like Deku is also thinking about these two moments as well. Thinking back to Kamino with All Might pointing to Deku, passing the torch of One For All down to him, and then the moment not even 2 chapters ago with All For One basically doing the exact same thing, but basically telling Deku, "You now have my attention and I am targeting you specifically." Both of these moments are putting heavy burdens on Deku's shoulders, and he has a lot to live up to, but this is what's motivating him and driving him to keep moving forward. I can't let them hurt anyone else. I have to complete One For All, so that everyone can live their lives in peace and safety. Yo, what is this kaiju water monster that Deku is fighting right here?
Let's get ready!
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
This looks like a monster from Pacific Rim that Deku is just rushing in with no hesitation to take down. And it looks like this kaiju has a quirk for water manipulation as it is shooting water directly at Deku.
Let them fight.
But I'm guessing Deku was able to take it out no problem because we see him in the next panel just walking through the woods in the pouring rain, continuing his search for All For One. And then we see Deku taking a break to take a bite out of what looks like a protein bar. So Deku is still eating, but I don't think that's as nutritious as the boxed meal that All Might would still be giving him.
You've got to save them.
Yo. And as we see panel shots of Deku going from location to location, saving citizens and stopping villains, you have all the people he is trying to protect on his mind. His mom, Gran Torino, All Might with that smile and thumbs up, Aizawa, as well as Eri. So we can all smile together again.
I have a goal that my body wasn't made for. And there was a point when I'd completely given up on it. But for everyone who's cheered me on, for everyone who's acknowledged me, I'll become a hero! Plenty of people in this world are hurting. And so, I want to become someone who can show them a bright future!
Yo. I love this panel shot right here, showing Deku in his tattered hero costume, continuing to push himself forward through the exhaustion, trying to build a bright future for everyone he loves, and trying to bring back the happier days of the past, so that way everyone can smile again. And right behind Deku, you can see just panel shots of all of Class 1A, now technically 2A, with smiles on all of their faces. You can even see Bakugo having a grin on his face. But if you look right above Bakugo, you can see Mineta with drool coming out of his mouth as he is holding an erotic magazine. And I believe that's the same magazine he's holding in the first ending of Season 5.
Where are all the girls with the big boobs?
The fact that Deku is imagining Mineta holding on to that magazine just goes to show that he understands Mineta perfectly. But this panel shot is just reinforcing to me that Deku is going to need help moving forward if he wants to build back this bright future and have everyone smiling again. He is going to need all of his classmates backing him up and supporting him, because if he continues down this path alone, he's just going to burn himself out and he's going to be too exhausted to fight or save anybody.
You have to keep reading.
And we can see Deku just wobbling in this panel as he is falling down to the ground due to his exhaustion.
Hold it.
Exactly what I just said. If Deku is so exhausted to the point where he can't stand right now, how is he expected to fight villains and save citizens? And go after All For One? A reckless rampage born of anxiety and impatience. You take on the world alone, to the point of exhaustion and ruin. Yes, indeed. You're just as he described you.
What the fuck is that?
Yo, who is this villain coming before Deku right here?
I don't like to wait, or keep others waiting. So I'll make this short and sweet.
This has to be another hired gun sent by All For One. And he picked the best opportunity to get the drop on Deku as we see him just sitting here exhausted on the ground. And it looks like we are now in Kamino because we can see the All Might statue with the I am not here sign as this villain is standing before Deku with a crowd of people surrounding him and all of these strings coming off of his body and connecting to each person.
Master of puppets, I'm pulling a string!
Is this guy a master of puppets? Does this guy's quirk allow him to control people, and is he going to use them to attack Deku right now?
Correct!
This should be interesting. Power in numbers, I say. Taking you in will bring me security. You're a Dictator, an escapee from Tartarus, another hired gun. So he was sent by All For One, which I'm guessing he was probably that short silhouette a few chapters back when All For One was gathering his followers during the Tartarus prison break.
I'm gonna stop you!
And we just see Deku trying to stand back up in this moment, getting ready to fight back, but kind of wobbling a bit. Let's hope you're the one who tells me where All For One is.
You just don't know when to give up, do you?
I can do this all day.
And as Deku is saying this, we see Dictator just kind of sinking into the darkness of the crowd. Ho ho! Spoiling for a fight, are you? Very well. A fight you shall have. Against the ignorant masses themselves. So he is sending these people in to attack Deku, and these people are saying we can't control our bodies. So they're aware of what is happening, but they have no control of their movements. Dictator. The one who caught him 5 years ago was Crust. It was during the bloodless surrender case. His quirk is Despot. His control over others can only be broken with a strong blow to his victims or by knocking him out. So it's a very similar quirk to Shinzo's brainwashing.
The target will move according to my orders. If they get shocked, they might break free of the power, depending on how well it took hold.
We're not so different, you and I.
But unlike Shinzo's brainwashing, these people are completely aware of their actions while they are being forcibly controlled to attack Deku right now. Of course, he's taken precautions by having civilians shield him. I can't resort to big powerhouse moves. What about Air Force? No, I don't have my gloves. Maybe Black Whip? This isn't our fault. Our bodies aren't listening to us. We're not trying to hurt you. And we just see the mob of people beginning to attack Deku right now. But Deku's in a predicament to where he is not going to try to hurt these civilians or even try to attack them. His main target is trying to go after Dictator, but he is currently shielding himself within the crowd. And we see these people beginning to tear Deku's mask off. I know that. It's okay. I'll free you of this, and you'll be fine. I just need a strategy. Damn. Deku is looking like Jon Snow right now as this crowd is just absorbing him and washing over him. And you just see Deku's arm reaching for the sky, trying to break free, but he's just too exhausted in this situation. But despite being exhausted, he is still trying to come up with a strategy to where he can save all of these innocent people and break the hold that Dictator has over them.
I'm back, bitches!
Yo! And here we go. Double page spread and help has arrived where we can see Bakugo coming in to assist Deku right now.
Not from my entire hand, but a blast from a single concentrated point. AP shot! Ha-ha! I did it! Kachan!
Yo, let's go. This is the moment we have been waiting for since Deku left UA. We have been waiting for the students to re-enter the story, and that time is now with the man himself, our great explosion murder god, Dynamite! Bakugo is here, he is on scene, and he is saving Deku in this situation. As he is high up in the sky, above the crowd, saying, "That punk," as he fires off an armor-piercing shot down below, hitting Dictator, and that should break the hold he has on all of the civilians. Let's go, Bakugo. So happy to see him arriving on scene and saving Deku. Hello. But what's interesting is that we also have the second user popping up, which is very interesting because they look so much alike, him and Bakugo.
Why the fuck do you look like me? How the fuck do you look like me?
Oh shit, here we go again.
Which I'm still betting on that Bakugo could possibly be a descendant of the second user, but we'll just have to wait and see. But we are calling back to the second user's line earlier this chapter. If there's anything that could bolster Izuku Midoriya now, it would be, and the second user's either talking about Bakugo in this moment, or he's talking about all of the students and how they can help Deku moving forward.
Hey, Deku!
Then we just have this panel shot of Bakugo with this calm look on his face as the raindrops are frozen behind him, and we see Bakugo speaking into his phone saying, "He's here, guys."
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
He is alerting the rest of Class A that he has found Deku, and we're either going to see all of Class A roll up, or if it's going to be a select few like Ochiko, Ida, Shoto, and maybe a few others. And I'm looking forward to seeing the interactions that we're going to get with Deku and the rest of the class showing up. That right there is the end of the chapter. Next chapter hits July 11th.
Not from my entire hand, but a blast from a single concentrated point.
AP shot!
Kachan! What's wrong, Deku? You better not go down without a fight!
Man, it sucks that we are going on break with this cliffhanger right here, but I am just so glad that Horikoshi is finally getting a break after the amazing chapters he has been giving us one after the other. He definitely deserves it. But once we come back from this break, I cannot wait to see what will be talked about and discussed between Bakugo and the rest of Class A as they confront Deku. Because there's going to be a lot of interesting things that they can now talk about since they are now aware of One For All thanks to Deku's letters, as well as the main reason as to why Deku left UA in the first place. But you just know that Deku is just going to continue to push them away, much like he did with All Might, so that way he can keep them safe, and he's just going to continue to shoulder this responsibility as he moves forward by himself. Though I am curious if we will see all of Class A show up, or if Bakugo was just talking to a select few on his phone when he said that he has found and located Deku. And if it's only a select few, the top three I am looking forward to speaking with Deku will have to be Ida, Ochiko, and Bakugo, because these three have the best potential to reach Deku with what they have to say, but whether or not they are able to remains to be seen until we come back from the break. So with that, guys, that right there is my live reaction to chapter 318 of My Hero Academia. But for now, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on the events of this chapter. And what were you guys' thoughts on the second user with what he was implying that could bolster Deku moving forward? And then with the ending of this chapter, how excited were you getting to see Bakugo back in the story as he came in to save Deku from Dictator, as well as the crowd being controlled? And then as we wait for the next chapter, which student are you looking forward to hopefully have a conversation with Deku? Leave your thoughts down in the comments below, and feel free to subscribe to the channel and click that bell icon that you guys can be alerted for every new MHA reaction that pops up on the channel. But if you guys want to talk about other things or talk about MHA outside of YouTube, feel free to also follow me over on Twitter. A link to my Twitter account can also be found in the description down below. But that's going to do it for me here, guys. So in 2 weeks' time, when we have chapter 319 of My Hero Academia, I'll talk to you guys next time. But remember, go beyond, plus ultra!